Good afternoon. I'm Gwendolyn Morton, and this is Live at 5 on WBON TV 9, where every local story starts here. A few of our top headlines for this Monday. A Berea man is dead following a weekend shooting, and a Breathitt County man is now in custody following the murder of a missing woman. Plus all this, and a U-Haul was involved in a chase with law enforcement over the weekend. We've got all those stories, plus more news, local sports, and weather coming up with Susie Martin right here live at 5. But first, in our WBON TV big story of the day, a Berea man was shot and killed over the weekend. State police got the call just before 10 Sunday morning regarding a shooting incident on Little Creek Road in Rockcastle County. Investigators say Joseph A. Dawson, 48 years old, of Berea, was having an ongoing verbal altercation with his wife, Catherine Dawson, and a family member of hers, Philip Fox. Joseph was inside his wife's residence and was making threats to kill her and Fox. Joseph exited the residence and was armed with a kitchen knife and a machete knife. Philip Fox retrieved a firearm and discharged that weapon, striking Mr. Dawson. Mr. Dawson fled back to the porch of the residence where he was located fatally injured. He was pronounced deceased by the Rockcastle County coroner. An autopsy has been scheduled at the state medical examiner's office. This case will be presented to the Rockcastle County grand jury. Detective Loudermilk with KSP is continuing the investigation. He was assisted by Kentucky State Police Post 11 personnel, Rockcastle County EMS, and the Rockcastle County coroner. The incident remains under investigation by Kentucky State Police Post 11 in London. Of course, this is an ongoing story. We'll keep you up to date with the latest right here live at 5. Well, we want to warn you, our next story does contain graphic and disturbing details surrounding the Joni Campbell case in Breathitt County. A Breathitt County man has been arrested and charged with murder and tampering in the case of Joni Campbell, the woman who went missing last Thursday after stopping at a Jackson convenience store. According to the arrest citation obtained by WBON TV 9, after it was reported Joni Campbell was missing and had not been heard from, Kentucky State Police opened a missing persons case. During their investigations, investigators learned Fairleigh Napier was the last person to have contact with Mrs. Campbell. That was last Thursday. KSP then received the call that a car had been located on Spicewood Road in Breathitt County with a deceased body inside that car. Detectives responded to the scene, where it was learned that the burned vehicle matched the description of the vehicle driven by Joni Campbell. Investigators say the vehicle contained what appeared to be human remains. The vehicle was located on property that was being logged by Fairleigh Napier. It was also determined that skidder and dozer was located in close proximity to the vehicle, a deceased body belonging to Mr. Napier. Investigators say the skidder appeared to have human remains and body tissue on it. After speaking with Chelsea Napier, the daughter of Mr. Napier, investigators say she stated Napier told her he was tired of seeing Campbell, and Mr. Napier admitted to her that he had burned the body. Napier was taken into custody yesterday morning and charged with murder and tampering with physical evidence. He's lodged in the Kentucky River Regional Jail in Perry County. The remains have been sent to Frankfort for conclusive identification. We'll have all that as soon as it becomes available here on WBONTV.com. Well, a suspect is now in custody after a police chase after a U-Haul ended in Berea Friday night. That pursuit began in Rockcastle County and then into Laurel County and then went north on I-75 to Berea. The U-Haul driver, Bradley Kimbrell, 26 of Somerset, is now facing a list of charges including reckless driving, fleeing, and wanton endangerment. Troopers deployed spike strips in Madison County and stopped the suspect in a residential area in Berea. Authorities say Kimbrell was tried to run away, but he was caught in the wooded area. Officers say the suspect then appeared to overdose while sedated in the back of the patrol car. Officers administered Narcan, and he was taken to St. Joseph Hospital in Berea. Kimbrell was eventually taken back to Rockcastle County and is now being held at the Rockcastle County Detention Center. Well, Brindle Ridge and Broadhead fire crews were dispatched just before 11 last night. The call was for a structure fire in the 1400 block of Copper Creek Road. Sadly, that structure was a complete loss. You can see the pictures of that fire up on your screen now. Well, a Madison County Court security officer was arrested last night and by an officer with the Richmond Police Department. 29-year-old Logan Foster of Berea was charged with several offenses, including public intoxication, menacing, terroristic threatening, and resisting arrest. Foster was booked into the Madison County Detention Center around 6:30 Sunday night. Well, the Laurel County Sheriff's Office is asking for some help locating missing juveniles in that area. Brooklyn Morgan, age 13, along with Destiny Odell, 12 years old, were reported runaways last seen off of Hensley Road, that's 6 miles north of London. They were last seen early this morning, January the 8th. Anyone knows of the whereabouts of these juveniles, they are asked to contact the Laurel Sheriff's Office, 606-864-6600, or you can always call the 911 dispatch center at 606-878-7000. Personal messages to the Laurel County Sheriff's Office on Facebook can also be made, or the sheriff's new app, Laurel SO, or email to the Laurel County Sheriff's Office.com. Laurel Sheriff's Deputy Alan Turner is investigating this case. Get a good look now again at those two juveniles. We have Brooklyn Morgan up on the screen now. She is 13 years old. Also, Destiny Odell, age 12. That's her in the pink dress. She is also missing from the London area. If you know their whereabouts, please make sure you contact local law enforcement immediately. Well, Madison County emergency crews responded to an overturned car hauler, truck and trailer that rolled over on exit 95 Sunday night. That was last night on 75. That hauler was carrying brand new SUVs. The accident happened last night around 8 p.m. and did impact traffic for a little while on I-75. With that, we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We've got lots more news. We've got sports, and coming up right after this, about some weather with Susie Martin. That's coming up next.
Hi, I'm John Leeds, artisan owner of Leeds Fine Jewelry. If you're looking for holiday gifts, we have faceted Kentucky earrings in silver and gold. We also have Kentucky agate red and black set and sterling rings starting at $179. Do you have broken items? We can get them fixed for you for Christmas. We're open on Mondays through Saturdays starting December 1st, 108 East Main Street in beautiful Richmond, Kentucky. Remember, we're locally owned and we're nationally known.
How do you protect your family during a disaster? Have a plan of action for tornadoes, floods, earthquakes, and for an incident at the Bluegrass Army Depot. Know what you will do and how you will contact each other. Having a plan helps to keep you calm and not panic. Visit EstleCountyEMA.com to get started today. Plan today for a safer tomorrow.
I'm Michelle.
And I'm Jennifer, and in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cupcadet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see ya.
Davis & Powell Funeral Home in Berea. From our attention to detail, a diverse staff, and the best aftercare in the business, there's no better local choice to take care of your family in a difficult time than Davis & Powell. Call in to discuss pre-planning and preparations so there'll be no additional burden on your family. Davis & Powell Funeral Home in Berea. For additional information, check them out at davisandpowellfuneralhome.com. Davis & Powell Funeral Home, always going the extra mile.
granite, marble, and quartz for any surface. Make a lifetime commitment you won't regret.
'Tis the season for sickness. Protect yourself and those around you with vaccinations at the Harness Health Pharmacies, powered by Mercy Health. Mercy Health Pharmacies offer vaccines for influenza, COVID-19, pneumonia, and RSV. Most vaccines are covered by the insurance, and in case they are not, Harness Health Pharmacy also partners with the primary care clinics for patients that are required by insurance to receive their vaccines there. Stop by the Harness Health Pharmacy in Irvin, located next to the Mercy Health Irvin Primary Care.
Welcome back to Live at 5. Some cool weather right here over the weekend. Looks like we might be getting some gusty winds over the next few days. We've got meteorologist Susie Martin in the Weather Center to give us a look at the forecast.
Thank you so much, Gwendolyn. We've got the calm before the storm. There is a powerful disturbance that's going to be tracking in, and we'll start to notice winds increasing, widespread rain building into tonight. A wind advisory has been posted from midnight Eastern time to 7 a.m. as we are looking at increasing winds and also increasing temperatures overnight. So as we look at our evening outlook, those rain chances really begin to build with widespread precipitation, and notice the temperatures increasing as we get the surge of warm, moist air building. Southeast winds strengthening, wind gusts to up to 40 miles per hour cannot be ruled out, and we are under wind advisories across the region from midnight through 7 a.m. tomorrow. And you can see how all of us are in that beige color. We're all under this wind advisory, which is in effect tonight and into tomorrow. It's all thanks to this powerful storm that's deep, and it's going to continue to track its way through the region, spreading precipitation. But what's interesting to note is kind of the chapters here. The first will be windy, rain throughout the region. We'll see periods of heavy downpours and then a bit of a break. And then the back end of the storm system coincides with those overnight temperatures Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, enough to support some mixing and then eventually maybe some light snow as well. So let's talk about that as we focus on our liquid equivalent precipitation is 3/4 of an inch to an inch or so. But then in terms of snow accumulations on the backside of this, less than 1/2 of an inch is expected at this time. So this is not looking to be a huge winter event, but kind of there's two faces to the storm. The first being that warm, rainy sector. We've got the strong winds and then the hit of winter on the backside of this. Temperatures tonight will be dropping down into the 30s with our high temperatures tomorrow into the 50s. Rain, winds, again, gusts up to 40, even 45 miles per hour possible with that wind advisory in effect through 7 tomorrow. Here's our extended forecast. A little bit of a break from precipitation to Thursday, but back at it later this week with cold arriving.
Thanks, Susie. And for weather all the time, you can find it on Channel 9 online. Check out our Facebook page and WBONTV.com. Well, lawmakers filed more than 200 bills during the opening week of session last week as the 2024 kicked off with a bang. The chamber rules was the only issue that drew much debate during the first 4 days of the session. A Senate measure related to hunting and fishing license was the only bill to receive a hearing in committee. To explain more about that bill filed last week, here's WBON TV correspondent Charles Baglin.
A bill in the 2024 Kentucky legislative session takes us outdoors. Hunting and fishing is a time-honored tradition, allowing a means to put food on the table. It was true for the earliest pioneers. It's true today. And if you hunt or fish on your own property where you reside, you may do so without buying a hunting or a fishing license. Or at least that was the case until last year. In the 2023 legislative session, Senate Bill 241 added a clause stipulating that your residential farmland license exemption didn't apply unless your property was 5 acres or more. At the behest of the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife, Senate Bill 5 removed that stipulation. Bill sponsor Senator Jay Williams of Verona said it's a simple technical correction. Bill sponsor from last session, Senator Robin Webb of Grayson, added that landowners and sportsmen and women of the Commonwealth, including her, know the intent of that exemption, and they have since their earliest memories. The Senate Natural Resources and Energy Committee voted unanimously to remove the 5-acre requirement, advancing Senate Bill 5 to the full Senate for consideration. In Frankfort, I'm Charles Beglin reporting at the state capitol.
Thanks, Charles, for that update. Well, last Friday, Darrell Billings filed paperwork with the Kentucky Registry of Election Finance and Kentucky Secretary of the State, officially declaring his intent to seek the Republican nomination for state representative in the 91st House District, a seat currently held by incumbent Bill Wesley. This sets up a rematch of the two as Wesley defeated Billings in the last election cycle for that seat. Billings is a third-generation farmer and lifelong native of Powell County, where he continues to live with his wife, Jennifer. He is the owner and operator of Tanner Dodge in Stanton and attended Eastern Kentucky University. Well, a murder investigation is underway in southern Kentucky after 73-year-old Charles Oler was found dead in his home. Oler, a well-known figure in the Corbin area, was discovered by his daughter, who told authorities that Oler did have medical conditions but was concerned because blood was found near his body. The sheriff's office is not providing detailed information to preserve the integrity of the investigation. Charles Oler, known for farming, ranching, and raising longhorn cattle, lived alone, and the authorities are actively gathering leads and following up on the case. The case, manner, and approximate time of death have not been disclosed at this time. With that, we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Dawson Rule is back, and he is up next with sports.
Are you considering a bathroom remodel? Think about this. Remodeling your bathroom without addressing the plumbing is like going to get a facelift when you need heart surgery. Plumbing is the heart of your home. At Fast Flow, we understand the importance of a well-functioning plumbing system. Our expert plumbers have years of experience in providing top-notch plumbing services. Don't just settle for a pretty face. Choose Fast Flow Plumbing before you remodel and keep your home's heart beating perfectly.
Call a pro at Fast Flow!
Did I ever tell you about that time I zipped right past that dang Sasquatch?
I don't think so.
Yes, sir. I don't know how they ever got away if it wasn't for this brand new side-by-side I got at Gateway Cycles.
In Mount Sterling?
Yes, sir. They set me up with something that left old Sasquatch sneezing in my dust.
Jimbo!
Lord, I hear him coming back now.
That ain't no Sasquatch. That's Mama.
Get a great deal on Sasquatch eluders today. Gateway Cycles, Mount Sterling.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best fajitas in town. Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
Watch The Real McCoys weekdays at 9:30 a.m. on Heartland.
Family known as The Real McCoys.
Watch Laugh-In on Retro TV, Mondays through Thursdays at 10 p.m. and Saturdays at 8.
If you love local sports, you'll love the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Join your host, Micah Watkins, Samantha Burford, and Dawson Rule as they cover sports news for the greater Madison County area. Get your local sports news every Monday night from 6 to 7 on WBON Channel 9 and on Y92.5, V99.3, and CBS Sports Radio 103.5. The Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show is also brought to you by the Richmond Raceway, the Law Office of Patrick O'Neill, Nuevo Vallarta, and Bishop Small Engine Repair.
Welcome back to Live at 5. Sports anchor Dawson Rule is back in the studio and here to report on all the latest scores and games from college and high school level. Here's Dawson.
We are back at it this week here in the WBON TV Sports Department. There's been a ton of games happen this past weekend. Teams are starting to come to form, and games this week are going to set the tone for the rest of the basketball season. Getting right into hoops, EKU's men's team has begun conference play 2-0 after entering it 4-9. The Colonels, of course, first knocked off Lipscomb on 8-5-9 night, then returned Saturday night and beat Austin Peay at Baptist Health Arena 69-59. Isaiah Cozart led the Colonels with 23 points, followed right behind with Leland Walker with 21. Senior Michael Moreno only had 2 points, but grabbed 12 boards and blocked 2 shots. Head coach A.W. Hamilton knows how important these last 2 conference wins are, as he mentioned it in his post-game presser.
I love how focused they've been. They've been really locked into our scouting reports. There's been a sense of urgency about the group right now. They know what's at stake. They've been through this. They know how important every single conference basketball game is, so that won't change next week when we go on the road.
Kentucky won a huge conference game back on Saturday over Florida, 87-85 after multiple come-from-behind attempts. UK's Aaron Bradshaw hit a 3 from the top of the key to give the Cats a 79-76 lead. After trading points and buckets, Reed Shepherd went on to hit 6 free throws in a row on multiple possessions to seal the deal for a big Kentucky win. The Cats return home tomorrow at 7 against Missouri. Now on to some high school sports updates. Let's start with girls basketball and how our Madison County teams did. Let's begin with the Madison Southern girls, and they beat Bourbon County by a resounding score of 81-46, behind many impressive scoring performances, specifically from Lacey Sandlin and Hadley French, who combined for 40 points, which was almost half the team's total for the game. Madison Central lost a close game to a tough Southwestern squad in girls basketball, 55-52 on Saturday. The team's next game is against the 13-1 Anderson County squad tomorrow night here in Richmond. 7:30, and it will be a great girls game to attend, so make plans. Berea and Models girls teams are scheduled to face off later this week in the All-A Classic, so stay tuned for more news on that coming up later down the road. On the boys' side, Berea and Model will also face off in the All-A Classic. This one's scheduled for Thursday. Berea's boys have won 6 straight, and Model's boys are 7-9, competing well against good teams. The best team in the district is Madison Southern, who's 12-3, and they just beat Lincoln County on the road 75-66. The leading scorer was none other than Jay Rose at 25. The Eagles have a big home game later this week against Ashland Blazer, which I'll report on as the game gets closer. Finally, Madison Central starting to find their identity as a team after they last beat Western Hills on the road 75-43. Cody Morrison and Ricky Goley combined for 32 points, and 12 different players scored for the Indians. Tune in tomorrow for more updated game information and news. This is Dawson Rule with Madison County's sports coverage.
Thanks, Dawson, for that sports update. Good to have you back. We're going to take another quick break right now. Lots more news coming up right here live at 5 after this break.
You've heard the name Chenault Vineyards, but what do you know about it? Chenault Vineyards is a place for the community to enjoy. Central Kentucky's premier event and wedding destination with 5 event venues, full-service catering, over 13 varieties of wine, live music entertainment, seasonal food options, weekly themed Wednesday night out and girls night out, trivia, murder mystery date nights, and free yoga on the point with beautiful views. Everyone can find something to do at Chenault Vineyards. Want to know more? Follow them on Facebook and Instagram or plan your night out at ChenaultVineyards.com.
Mushroom lovers, this one's for you. This is for the beef lovers too, the onion lovers, the Swiss cheese lovers. If you love all these things, then you're going to absolutely love our classic double mushroom onion melt. Try it now, only at A&W. Feel the heat at A&W with our delicious, cheesy, and spicy sriracha cheese curds. They're available for a limited time only, so come on in and try some today. Only at A&W.
Are you looking for a brand new SUV that won't break the bank? Look no farther than Jack Burford Chevrolet, home of the newly redesigned 2024 Trax. Bigger, bolder, more refined, and starting under $25,000, the new Chevy Trax is really upped its game. Come Come see us at Jack Burford Chevrolet in Richmond or check us out at jackburford.com to see everything this new Trax has to offer.
If it won't go down.
Call Mr. Rooter, the best in town.
What do I do now?
Call Mr. Rooter, the best plumber in town. Mr. Rooter is Central Kentucky's affordable and reliable plumber. Right now, get any drain in your home cleaned for only $89. Call 859-253-CLOG. That's 859-253-CLOG. So if you've got a problem that won't go down, call Mr. Rooter. He's the best plumber in town. He'll clean any drain in your home for only $89.
Now I know who to call.
Call Mr. Rooter.
Bye-bye, Poopy.
Richmond has its very own TV station, WBON TV Channel 9, featuring 4 new TV channels of programming. Our primary station, 9.1, is available over the air with an antenna on all area cable systems, Roku, and our live player at WBONTV.com. You'll love the local sports and other local programming, including the only local newscast for the greater Richmond area, live at 5 daily. Find out more at WBONTV.com.
For years, Richmond residents have been searching for a heating and air company that can do it all. That search is now over. Don't let the name fool you. Fayette Heating and Air serves all over Central Kentucky for both commercial and residential customers. With Fayette Heating and Air, they promise that no matter the issue, no matter the time, you can expect award-winning heating repairs the first time, every time. Visit FayetteHeating.com to learn about special financing and how to sign up for the Comfy Club. With Fayette Heating and Air, complete home solutions.
Welcome back to Live at 5 on WBON TV Channel 9, where every local story starts here. More news for you as 2 people were hospitalized and 1 person identified as 63-year-old Urbano Romero Ortiz was arrested following a shooting in the 2700 block of Red Clover Lane in Lexington Sunday afternoon. The victims, a male and a female, sustained reported life-threatening injuries. Ortiz, described as a male family member of the victims, initially left the scene but was located and arrested shortly after by officers. He is facing charges of 2 counts of assault first-degree, domestic violence, and 3 counts of wanton endangerment first degree. An investigation is ongoing, and anyone with information is urged to contact the Lexington Police Department. That department can be contacted at 859-258-3600, or you can provide an anonymous tip to Bluegrass Crime Stoppers at 859-253-2020 or online at bluegrasscrimestoppers.com. A grand jury in Frankfort indicted Bobby Lee Long with murder charges. Long was arrested last December as a suspect in the shooting and killing of Brian E. Briggs on Myrtle Avenue in Frankfort. His preliminary hearing was set for last week, where he was charged with murder in connection to the shooting. He has a $500,000 cash bond. That is according to the indictment. Well, a UPS facility in Louisville announced this past week that they will be laying off workers at its ground hub. The layoffs will reportedly be effective February 16 for this coming year. UPS has stated that the reason for the layoffs is a result of, a quote, fewer packages in the network. Spokesperson Michelle Stenchfeld went on to explain, in our industry, packages equal jobs, and we need to match capacity and the number of jobs with the current package volume. Our employees are extremely important to us, and we understand the impact this may have on their families. We are working to minimize the impact of our people whenever we can. The company has yet to reveal how many people will lose jobs, but have said that it's a relatively small portion of workers that will be affected. The company has stated that the layoffs are not due to any way related to recent unionization efforts made by some administrators and employees. UPS and Teamsters reached an agreement earlier this month to prevent a strike after 35 workers who had been fired had been rehired. Reportedly, UPS is having several layoffs across the country for similar reasons to the facility in Louisville. Thanks so much for joining us today here live at 5. Don't forget, we've got the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show that is coming up right here on Channel 9 at 6 o'clock. Have a wonderful afternoon. I'll see you back here tomorrow live at 5.